doing projects that start in small, like no budget, all the way up to $1 million commercials and features, there's a camera that fits each and every circumstance. So for me, currently, I shot with the Red Komodo and the Red Gemini about 2 weeks ago, and then I have a shoot this weekend. And I'm really excited about testing the Komodo and pushing the boundaries, finding out about the 120 frames at 2K, which obviously gives a very much cropped sensor. So what would be a wide shot would be a close-up, but I'm really, really excited about the flexibility and portability of working with such a camera with such great resolution.
Funny, I would have mentioned the same camera because I haven't used it, but it's pretty amazing for the price, everything they've put in there. And with accessories, you can go anywhere from a little portable camera to, with accessories, you can use it as a full camera and put it on a steady cam and all these things you use. So it's actually pretty amazing what you can do now and then with very little, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, to jump in, I purchased one, so I got on the list that we've been using it in our production. So we have a helium that we have for our production, in-house, and then we ended up buying the Komodo as a secondary camera. And you're totally right. I think the portability, the small factor, we're keeping it very slimmed down and just doing overheads or things like that just make it super portable and compact. They did Canon introduced a speed booster that even gave it that full frame look. So you have, when you're talking about crops and stuff, I think that's the thing that we've been messing with because a 2K crop on that sensor, it's not that it's not usable, but I think it's like, it's not the greatest thing, you're kind of really missing out on some stuff. So when you put in that speed booster that Canon just came out with, we bought it as well. And like, it's been nice to kind of have that wider field. So your 35 or 50 is not getting cropped down to like 100 or whatever, you still have some usable real estate in the frame and stuff. So it's been nice.
All right, anybody else?
For me, sorry, you go ahead, Kevin.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I've used the Komodo a few times and it's been a blast. And the one I've been playing with more lately is the 12K Ursa, which is just a different machine. Like it's just its own weird thing it's super unique so far. I've done 5 main shoots with it and it's held up great. It's just getting used to the media is the only thing that's been hard, but it's been fun having that ability. Like I did one shoot in 8K and for a 4K delivery, and having that crop actually saved several shots for me. Wow. Because we were doing a shoot that was at sunset, so we had that one chance and talent had some issues, so we used that in our favor.
Awesome. So I would have to say that I agree with Kevin. That's what I was going to say was the Ursa Mini Pro 12K. I haven't actually used it, but mainly I like the fact that Blackmagic always disrupts the market. I mean, the fact that they've come out with a 12K sensor, a brand new sensor that's geared towards their B-roll and what they're offering at their price point, I think that's amazing. And it's definitely going to affect the rest of the market. So that's the one that excites me.
Yeah. The one thing I'll add on there that people may have not realized, and this is because I've used it, several times now, and I don't have a lot of friends that have because it's hard to get, it's just so new, is when you go down to 4K, you still get the full sensor readout without cropping in RAW, which is kind of a whole new world. Yeah, that was a trip. Like, I mean, when you go to the super high frame rates, it still crops, like it does 4K 220, I think, but yeah, if I'm doing 8K RAW, 12K RAW, or 4K RAW, it's still the full Super 35 readout regardless, which is just unheard of in any other camera that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
I mean, the issue for me with Blackmagic, because I also went out and bought a 6K, which is freaking great. I mean,
I have one right there.
You probably got a couple of them, right?
Yeah, the Pocket 4Ks and 6Ks have been such good. Because I have a studio back there, and it's just such good for throwing it up. It's quick, it works, it's done. Sorry, I just overtook your conversation.
No, I mean, this is totally the conversation we're having, right? About the gear and the accessibility and the ease and the convenience, because a lot of the times, run and gun shoots are kind of where everything is kind of headed towards. It's like you don't have, a big budget to be elaborate and do these motion control shots. So it's like, grab the camera, go kind of thing in a lot of scenarios. Yeah. And the smaller, more compact, portable, easy to use, like Blackmagic's menu is awesome compared to the Sony. I mean, I do like the Sony family, but it's a little, it's a little bit confusing if you're not like a full DP, which I'm not at all. And you know, so when I'm messing with the menus and stuff, it's confusing, as opposed to Blackmagic. It's like, bam, it tells you what frame rate, tells you what sensor. Very simple, very easy to use, and very streamlined.
Yeah, it feels like it's like an iPhone. That's how I see it. It's like I feel like they took the iPhone menu and just like made it in the camera.
Yeah, and they keep it the same across the board. So whether you're using 4K, 6K, or 12K, you can easily jump from one to the other and be able to make the adjustments you need.
I'm out on the job with 5 cameras. I think I own every GoPro from the first one to 9, and they all have different things. I need to be able to wake up from a dead sleep and hit the record button. And so for me, the GoPros are all set up that way. I have Sony cameras because I can switch the lenses with Sony lenses. I would love to have a Venice. I can't afford it. My pick would be to get an FX9. It's got all the ins and outs that I need without having to mess with other accessories. I can pull it up and shoot it right away. It's got the same color science as the Venice.
You know, I've used a lot of different Lumix cameras, all the way from the G7, G85, S1, and I would say the GH5. You know, I kind of skipped over that one and went to the S1 just because they came out with the S1. But the GH5 was a camera that I coveted for a long time, and it's still very capable to do. I mean, you can even use it as a webcam if you want to, but I mean, it'll put out some really awesome images. And, you know, for what it can do in body, you still have to spend a lot of money on a lot of other cameras to be able to compete with the GH5. So I would say it's a great camera, and Matthew can probably say he sells a few of them used because they're great cameras.
You might be looking at Shoots.video and thinking, so how does this all work? Is this about A, setting up the whole crew for me? B, just giving me options and having me handle it? Or C, something in between? Well, it's D, all of the above. To put it simply, we're here to help you in any way that we can to get the crew and talent you need for your next production. We believe that every level of video production can benefit from a well-maintained list of qualified crew members for every position. This goes for pre-pro, on-set, and for post. Every project is different, so if you need a producer to help manage the decision-making process, then we can totally do that. If you're already a producer and want to build your own crew from scratch, then go for it. We're here to make your next production a success. And if you are crew or talent looking for producers that want you, then you've come to the right place. Sign up now, and also leave a referral for any solid people that you know that are already on here. Thank you for considering Shoots.video, and happy shooting!